How will you restore faith in our justice system? A lot of people will say, well, he's just going to do to them what they did to him and get back at them. And
a lot of people say that's what should happen. Well, you want to know the truth.
Right. Well, but I think.
I love when they try to give Trump a softball and he's like, I'm not going to hit it. He does this with Hannity. I mean, you wouldn't be a dictator, right? I'd be a dictator on day one. I told Hannity, you're sitting right next to him, I'm going to be a dictator on day one. I just told him that, right? And now Laura Ingram's like, but you're not going to strike back against your political opponents and arrest them for no reason, right? And he's like, well, I'll tell you what, some people think we should. And the crowd starts to get crazy. So, well, look, let's be fair. There's a second half to this answer. Maybe he turns it around and goes, oh no, of course not. Or does he get egged on by the crowd? Let's watch.
Punitively using government institutions is what got us in this mess in the first place. And our town hall that we did back in February, one of the lines that really resonated, I think, with people is when you said, my revenge is going to be my success.
Yeah, well, I do believe that, but I will say this, they have started a terrible precedent. We've never had this. We do have that in third world countries, banana republics, a lot in South America where they go after somebody politically that's an opponent. We never had it to any great extent, really almost at all.
But you're not going to do that. When you get in office, you're going to look at all your political enemies.
No, I want to make this the most successful country in the world. That's what I want to do.
But really, please say you're not going to do that. I gave you the correct answer that you gave last time. Instead of asking you a question, I actually gave you the answer. All you have to do, knucklehead, is say yes. We're trying to do propaganda here. A lot of undecided voters are spooked out by you constantly going, I'm going to be a dictator. Oh, I'm going to get them. Oh, I'm going to arrest them. So can you just say here so that we can all pretend you're not going to do it? Hey, of course I wouldn't arrest my political opponents for no reason. Easiest answer in the world. He just can't spit it out. So now you know, but okay, you could pretend you don't know. But you know what? That's what people have been doing for this entire time. That's why we started playing Trump brackets. 64 the worst things he's ever done. Yes.
Yeah, so look, the notion of going after your political opponents prosecutorially, would make sense if you know your political opponents have done things that break the law. And by the way, that's certainly possible. Like, we know how dirty politicians are. So is it unheard of for Democratic politicians to have some skeletons in their closets? Not unheard of. In fact, there are all sorts of Democratic politicians on a local level right now who are being investigated by the FBI, who are facing very serious indictments in regard to corruption schemes. You guys get the picture. But like, the idea of Trump being able to just prosecute any Democrat, even though they haven't committed a crime, is ridiculous. Like, so we still have a justice system in this country.
Such as it is. I mean, that's why I'm worried about Trump. Look, guys, we often say on the show, criticize Democrats and Republicans. And so, and I criticize Democrats for not doing nuance sometimes and going, no, you got to go strictly party line. You can't veer from the party line. But for Republicans, like, guys, you got to at least understand simple concepts like, yeah, if someone broke the law and they happen to be your political opponent, we're not going to stop you. For example, we're not going to complain about it. Like, let's say that Trump was president instead of Biden, and his Justice Department went after Senator Bob Menendez, who's a Democrat from New Jersey. I would give them a standing ovation. I wouldn't be like, oh my God, it's a Democrat deep state. Trump's trying to politically. No, the guy's corrupt. He's got gold bullion coming out of his jacket pockets and falling out all over his closet and stuff, right? You want to go after Eric Adams or Cuellar down in Texas, et cetera, for bribes they might have taken from foreign governments. Have at it, Hoss. We're not telling you don't do that. And when Democrats didn't prosecute Trump in the beginning, why do you think they didn't prosecute him in the beginning? Because they're like, oh, the elites never prosecute the elites, right? Because they're worried that it might turn on them. But if you say, hey, let's prosecute someone, whether they did something or not, oh, they did it to us, is not a real thing. That's just you being spiteful. And yes, undermining democracy when you go, let's just arrest someone because we don't like them politically and we think they did it to us. That's not a thing you could prove in court. No, you did it to us is not is not evidence you could present in a court of law. Come on, guys, do better, be better than this.
Yeah.
So, but unfortunately, both sides have issues with that, and especially the Republicans. Keep it real.
Okay, in the interest of saving time, go
All
ahead.
right, so we'll get back to, okay, so to do Trump brackets, we're down to the Sweet 16. These are all bad, and that's we need your help in the votes as much as possible, TrumpBrackets.com. So 1 seed versus an 8 seed. Impeached for refusing peaceful transition of power. Obviously, that's a huge one. And 8 seed is villainized immigrants throughout his political career. We have an example of that. We'll show that to you right here.
They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done. They poison mental institutions and prisons all over the world, not just in South America, not just the 3 or 4 countries that we think about. Nobody has any idea where these people are coming from, and we know they come from prisons. We know they come from mental institutions, insane asylums. We know they're terrorists. It's poisoning the blood of our country. It's so bad, and people are coming in with disease.
How about allowing people to come through an open border, 13,000 of which were murderers? You know, now a murderer, I believe this, it's in their genes. And we got a lot of bad genes in our country right now.
So the Republicans have a decent point on immigration. Whether we agree or disagree with the policies, they can point to the middle of the Biden administration where undocumented immigrants went up at a record pace. It's a winning issue for them. A lot of people are frustrated by it. Now a lot of the people in the blue states are even frustrated by that because of the busing. And we told you on day one that that was smart politically for Abbott to do that, right? And we were right about that from day one.
But that rhetoric, like.
But that's my point. But when you go and say they're poisoning the blood of our country and you use literal Nazi rhetoric, then don't like the Republicans catch feelings when you say, but no one else has talked about the poisoning the blood of a country other than the Nazis in like human history, okay? Maybe that's a little exaggeration, maybe somebody did, but overall that's what they're famous for using that line. So when you needlessly talk about, oh, they got bad genes, they're poisoning the blood of our nation, then you take a winning position and you turn it into a losing position because people are worried that you're a weirdo fascist and you're doing this based on race and not based on logical reasons like, hey, the job market, the economy, extra resources, etc. So if you're a Republican, you should be more mad at him for that than we are. Because he's blowing it for you.
Yeah, like exactly. Like when that type of rhetoric is used, that sends a signal to everyone on the left or even in the middle that you cannot take anything that the right says about the ramifications of, undocumented immigration seriously, because if you do, it just means you're a bigot. But there are people, including Democratic voters in like cities like Chicago, who have dealt with some issues because of the sheer influx of migrants coming in without the lack of resources to deal with it. And so that is a legitimate concern. That doesn't mean that you're a bad person, that you're racist, or that you're a bigot, but that you want some help and some attention from the federal government on that issue. Anyway, go ahead.
I mean, if you thought that might trigger Republicans, get a load of the next bracket. Said there was very fine people on both sides about the neo-Nazis and Confederate lovers. Implied Kamala Harris exchanged oral sex for career favors because he's a terrible guy. Look, on the Kamala Harris one, again, you have 1,000 things you can criticize Kamala Harris on and get a lot of people on your side. But when you go weirdo dirty like that, all you do is turn off people that might come to your side and have a lot of women voters go, I don't want any piece of this trash, okay? So now on the fine people on the neo-Nazi side in Charlottesville, here's one of the examples of him doing that.
You had some very bad people in that group, but you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did.
Yeah. You know the Republicans have their excuses. No, he meant the guys who love Confederate generals who tried to keep slavery so we could imprison black people forever and use them as property. But number one, that's a terrible defense. Number two, why would your guy say, oh, neo-Nazis who just killed someone and chanted the Jews will not replace us? There's very fine people on that side. Why bother doing that defense? When the only thing that anybody knows is that a bunch of Nazis marched in the streets. You don't think at a bare minimum that would get misinterpreted as him saying, there's some fine Nazis?
The problem with his form of communication, and I think he does this intentionally, is he says two different things at the same time.
Yep.
And so the plausible deniability is like always a possibility in defending him. But I do want to be fair, because in that same statement, he said, the neo-Nazis, they should be condemned. I don't support them at all. That's what the Trump supporters talk about when they refer to Trump being taken out of context.
Yeah, that's because you guys still haven't caught on to the trick that he says both things. And he wants you to be able to do plausible deniability and go, no, he said he was against the neo-Nazis. He was just in favor of the other who. This was not a normal conservative rally. I've even defended the people who went to hear Donald Trump's speech on January 6th, because most of them did not go to the Capitol, okay? So we're super fair about that. But this was not a normal conservative rally. This was a neo-Nazi and Confederate general white supremacy rally. It was not anything else. It was not, hey, there's Republican accountants in here and homemakers. No, and trad wives.
Okay,
no.
we get it. Keep going.
Yeah, anyway. Okay, so we'll go to the next question. 6 and 3. Created policies that resulted in migrant children being put in cages. Praised Jeffrey Epstein as a terrific guy who likes girls on the younger side. Go ahead, right-wingers, make all of your excuses. But he definitely said that. He definitely knew that Epstein was sleeping with young girls, and he partied with him for 15 years, called him a terrific guy after he knew, and then even after he was arrested and Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested, the biggest groomer in American history, he said that he really likes her and wishes her well. So if you want to vote for a guy who loves groomers and was terrific pals with Jeffrey Epstein, that's on you. Anyway, all the rest of you guys, go to TrumpBrackets.com, vote on which of these are the worst. We definitely need your help because they're all bad. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.